Welcome everyone. So from this session onwards, we'll be starting sequential circuits. So we'll be doing sequential design, and in sequential circuits, the first thing what we are going to see is latches. So latches. Now when we are going to latch, first let us see what is a bistable element. Now before this, till now whatever we have done in the previous sessions is are known as combinational circuits, because the output at any given time was dependent only on the inputs at that time. Combinational circuits, the output for any of the output depends on the input at a particular time. In sequential circuit, the output at a given time is dependent on the input at that time as well as the earlier inputs. That is the difference between sequential and combinational. In sequential circuit, the output depends on the input at present, and also it depends on the inputs on the during the previous sessions. And the sequential circuits will generally have a memory associated with them. We denote the operation of sequential circuits in terms of state. So we denote the operation of sequential circuits in terms of states. Sequential circuits are associated with memory. Sequential circuits are associated with memory. Then output depends on the present state. Present state means present time, and also on the inputs of the previous state. Then the state or internal state is a set of signals. Now what do you mean by a state? State is nothing but it is a set of signals. This state is a set of signals. State is a set of signals at a given point. At any point, whatever is a signal, that is known as the state. Now sequential circuits can be broadly classified into two types: synchronous sequential circuits and asynchronous sequential circuits. Two types of sequential circuits will be having. One is the synchronous, the other one is the asynchronous. So synchronous sequential circuits and the other one is asynchronous. Now what happens in a synchronous sequential circuit? These circuits are controlled by clock. It is in sync with clock, you can tell. Sync means whenever there is a change in the clock signal, let us assume for now clock is a signal. Whenever there is a change in the clock signal, the output also is syncing according to the change in the clock signal. And what about asynchronous circuits? Asynchronous circuits depend on something known as asynchronous inputs. Now these asynchronous inputs will be nothing but preset and clear. So asynchronous inputs are normally preset and clear. Now we'll come to the first basic bistable element. Now what is a basic bistable element? So in the sequential circuits, bistable elements form the basics. A sequential circuit is designed on a bistable element. Now what is a bistable element? A bistable element is something which can store indefinitely a 0 or a 1. So for example, let me design a bistable using a NOT gate. So bistable element using a NOT gate. Now what happens in a bistable element? This is a bistable element. This goes over here and this is over here. Now what is a bistable element? I told bistable element will indefinitely store either a 0 or 1. So now what happens? Suppose I give an input. I've given an input. Now this input is what? 0. Let me give a 0 and I store it. Now what happens? Permanently 0 will be stored over here. This is a 0. So if I give a LED over here just to visualize it. So what happens? 0 is the input given over here. NOT of 0 will be 1. 1 acts as an input to the next NOT gate over here, gate 2, and 0 will be again the input. So permanently it is storing a 0. So if I just show this, let me connect it just for understanding purpose. This should be 0, and if you can see, it is 0. Now I told it will indefinitely store either a 0 or a 1. Already 0 is stored in the circuit. Now if I try to change this as 1, I'll not be able to get this because already 0 is stored in the circuit. So what I have to do is, in such cases, if I have to store a 1 indefinitely, so I have to make this as 1, connect it, permanently a 1 will be stored. So 1, NOT of 1 is 0, and I cannot change this back to 0. If I have to change this back to 0, I have to reset the circuit. So a bistable element is a circuit wherein a 0 can be stored permanently or else a 1 can be stored permanently at any defined time. If I want to change the state of the circuit, that means I have to reset the circuit and store the value. Now, first example of a bistable element, we'll use a bistable element to build a latch. Now, using a bistable element, first let us build a latch. Now in latch, the first latch is a SR latch. Okay. Now SR latch, we can build it using NAND gate or we can build it using NOR gate, because NAND is not of AND gate. If I take a NAND gate, so then the first basic element what we are going to see is an SR latch. SR latch can be implemented using two gates, NAND gate and the NOT gate. So first I have the NAND gate and the second I have the NOT gate. But how is SR latch implemented? SR latch uses bistable element as the building block. That means in our bistable element we had NOT gates. If you take a NAND gate, what is a NAND gate? It is an AND gate plus a NOT gate. If you take an NAND gate, if you can see, where's a NAND gate? Okay, this is a NAND gate. This NAND gate is equal to AND gate plus NOT gate, right? So that is why even for a NOT gate, this is not NOT gate, NAND gate and NOR gate. NOR gate will be equal to OR gate plus your NOT gate. Hence, this acts as the building blocks for your latch. So now let us design a latch using NOR gates first and see how the NOR gate operates, how the latch operates. Now this is a NOR gate, two NOR gates, because we had two NOT gates, two NOR gates. Now what happens over here? This acts as the input to the next NOR gate, and this is acting as the input. Okay. Now let me label this for understanding. So let me make this as gate 1, which is nothing but our R. So gate 1, I'll make it as input R, and this is nothing but gate 2. Gate 2, I will make it as input S. RS latch for NOR gate. It is an RS latch G2, and let me make it as S. Now two inputs will go to this gate. One input is the R, the other input is S. So one input is R, this is an R input, that's why I've labeled it as R. The other input is S. Now you can see as soon as the inputs are connected, there is variations in the lines indicating that this gate is working. And let me give an output. So this output will be your Q and this output will be our Q bar. Because one output will be the not of other. So this output is nothing but Q and this output is nothing but Q bar I told. So let us take this as Q bar. And this let me make it as Q. Now how is this working? We have to apply our NOR gate and check how is it working. Now before this, let me write the truth table for NOR gate for easy analysis. NOR gate will have two inputs A and B and one output Y. What is the truth table for NOR gate? I'll just keep it handy over here. 0 or 0 is 0. So NOR will be 1. Next, 0 or 1 is 1. So NOR will be 0. 1 or 0 is 1. So NOR will be equal to 0. 1 or 1 is, again for OR gate, 1 or 1 is 1. So NOR will be equal to 0. This is the truth table. Now let me take this as input. This is our input I told. So here let me make it as label R and this is our S. This is S. So one more truth table I will write, which is nothing but the truth table for our SR latch. Okay. Now I already gave the truth table. So this is S and this is R. And output I'll be having two outputs Q and Q bar. This is the truth table which we are going to write for our latch. Let me keep it over here. Now, what was the truth table combination for your NOR gate? If A is 0, now before going to this NOR gate, if A is 0, S is 0, this is glowing. That means there should have been some previous input over here. Then only that previous input will be available over here and go over here. Now for that thing, what I will do, this Q, let us assume that it has a previous state as well as a next state. So I'm assuming that it has a previous state as well as a next state and draw the truth table. Write down the truth table as of now. Input, we have two inputs R and S. Now this Q also acts as an input. If you can see over here, Q acts as the input and Q bar will be generated as the output. At the same time, Q bar also acts as the input. Since Q and Q bar act both as input and output, if I write the detailed logic table, I'll be having two inputs R and S. Q and Q bar means the present state. That means when it is going as the input. Now when it is generating the output, let me take the output state as Q plus and Q bar plus. Wherever we denote entities with Q plus and Q bar plus, it denotes that it is the next state. So I'll get a truth table like, I'm generating a table like this for our understanding purpose. Now, first combination is R is 0, S is 0, Q is 0, Q bar is 0. Now this, as of now I'll leave this because you know Q and Q bar will be the complement of each other. Since it's the complement of each other, first state let me keep it pending. Let me go for 0, 0, 0, 1 because Q and Q bar is 0 and 1, the second combination. Now when R and S is 0, when R is 0, if Q is 0, you can see over here, when R is 0, Q bar is 0, I will get an output of 1. What is a NOR gate? When it is 0 and 1, when the combination for the NOR gate input 0 and 1. 0 or 1 is let me go to the combination. I'll leave the combination with R and S 0 0 and R and S 1 1. I'll go to the combination with RS is 0 1 and RS is 1 0 first. So first I'll address the combination RS is 0 1. That means these four combinations. Okay. So what happens over here? R is 0 and S is 1. When R is 0, S is 1, what is the value of Q over here? Q is 1. Okay, R is 0, S is 1. So R is 0, S is 1, Q is 1. Now when this Q is 1, 1 goes over here. 1 nor with 1. 1 nor with 1 will be 0. So the output Q bar will be 0. Since Q bar is 0, again this value goes over here. So 0 or with nor with 0 will be 1. Hence this bistable logic will be satisfied. That means when R is 0 and S is 1, Q will be equal to 1. Now suppose we assume, let me assume that this Q was a 0. Okay, let me assume that this Q has a value of 0. Q has a value of 0. What happens? This 0 will be available over here now. Now 0 or 1 is what? 0 or 1 is, we can say that 0 or 1 is, nor 1 is 0. So we'll get an output of 0. This 0 goes as input over here. So this will have a 0. 0 nor with 0 will be equal to what? 1. So what does that mean? Whatever may be the combination, either Q is 0 or Q is equal to 1. When your input R is 0 and 1, your output will always be 1. So whenever your input to combination is 0 and 1, this will always be equal to 1. When I have a 1 over here, clearly 1 goes as an input over here. 1 or nor with 1 is 0. 0 goes as an input over here. 0 or 0 will be equal to 1. Or else if this Q is 1, I'll get a, if this Q is 0, I'll still get an output as 1. This is one state. Now the next state is, if you can see, let me consider the combination 1 0. So what is the combination 1 0? My combination 1 0 is these four values. I'm currently not speaking about Q bar. I'm only just speaking about Q. Okay. Now what happens in the combination? R is 1 and S is 0. When R is 1, S is 0. What is the output? Now when R is 1 and S is 0, first you can see that initially, let me take Q to be equal to 0. When Q is 0, 0 is available over here because Q acts both as input and output. One variable can take two values, 0 and 1. So 0 is over here. 0 or with 0 is how much? 0 nor with 0 is 1. This 1 comes as the input over here. 1 nor with 1 is how much? 1 nor with 1 will be 0. So clearly we can see that if Q is 0, output will be 0. Now let me take the next combination. What happens if Q is 1? So if Q is 1. So Q is 1 means what goes over here? 1 will be over here. 0 nor with 1 is what? 0. Again 0 means there is a path over here. 0 will be available over here. 1 or 0 will be 1 or 0 will be equal to what? Still it will be equal to 0. So what does that mean? Whatever may be a combination of Q can take either the value of 0 or 1. If R and S is at 1 and 0, if R is 1 and your S is 0, what will happen to the output? In both the cases you can see the output is still 0. So the output is still 0. Next, coming to the combination of 0 and 0. Now You can see this is at 0th state, right? Okay, let me clear this. When R and S, say some combination over here, this is a 0th state. Suppose if I make this as 1, 1, what happens? Still this is in 0 state. That means when your R and S is 1 and 1, now if you can see, when I make this inputs as, say suppose I keep it as 0 and 1. When I keep it as 0 and 1, what happens? Since S is equal to 1, this will be at 1. Now if I change both to 0, 0, the previous state will be, still it is glowing only. Suppose if I make this 1 and 0, if R is 1, Q will be equal to 0. Now if I change to 0, 0, what happens? It is in the previous state only. So what does that mean? If R and S is 0, 0 for these 4 combinations, for the first 4 combinations, if R and S is 0, 0 here, if R and S is 0, 0, irrespective of what is your previous state, Q, this will retain its previous state. So previous state you can see Q is 0, so this will be 0. Q is 0, so this will be 0. If previous state is 1, this will be 1. If previous state is 1, this will be 1. This is what is going to happen. Now, go to the next combination. The next combination is 1 and 1. So let me assume that previous state is 1 and 0. Now suppose if I make this as 1 and 1, what is happening? You can see both is not glowing. Now what will this be considered valid? Q is always equal to not of, Q is equal to not of Q bar, or Q bar is not of Q. But here we can see when I give the combinations 1 and 1, whatever may be the previous state. What was your previous state? In previous state, Q bar was 0. But as soon as I make this 1, this goes into, this both doesn't glow. So these states are known as forbidden states. These states, the last 4 states are known as forbidden states. When the combination is 1 and 1, whatever may be the previous state, say assume that the previous state was 0 and 1. Like this it was. Q was 1 and Q bar was 0. Q was 1 and Q bar was 0. This was the previous state. But still, when I make it as 1 and 1, this goes into something where Q and Q bar is somewhere having the same values. So this state is known as the forbidden state. Now from this Boolean detailed logic table, we can write the logic table for the SR latch. Now how does that logic table look like? Now what are the inputs I have? I only have S and R as the inputs. So let me write it as S and R only. S and R is the input. What is the output? Q is the output and Q bar is the output. Q and Q bar. Understand that here Q acts as both input and output. Only for R notation we take Q as the previous state and Q plus as the next state. But still Q will be the output. Now if I write the truth table, if you can see, when S is 0, R is 0. Clearly here I'll make S is 0, R is 0. What happened? Whatever, okay, before that let me keep this as R is 1, S is 0. When R is 1, S is 0, what happens? Q bar will be equal to 0. When R is 1, S is 0, Q bar is equal to 0, Q is 0, Q bar is equal to 1. Now when I make R is 0, S is 1, S is 1, so Q is 1, Q bar will be equal to 0. Now 0, right? Suppose if I make this 0, 0 and 0, same state is retained, previous state. So Q will be Q itself. We call this as Q only. This state will be Q itself. It will not be a don't care. It will be a state known as Q. And Q bar will be Q bar only. Now, when I make both 1 and 1, what happens? It goes into something known as forbidden state. So this last combination will be a forbidden state. Okay, this is forbidden state. but here we will write the values as Q and Q. We'll write the values as Q and Q bar only because it has retained the previous state. Now we can write something known as comments. When S is 0, R is 0, this is no change state. When S is 0, R is 1, this is a restate state. When S is 1, R is 0, it is set state. And when S is 1 and R is 1, it is a forbidden state. Now, why is this 0 over here? You can see that clearly in the truth table, R is 1. R is 1. R represents reset. Reset means it will be reset to 0. That is why Q changed to 0. Again, in the next combination, S is 1. S is 1 means it is set. So, set to 1. RS represents set and reset. We can also call this as set and reset flip-flop or set and reset latch. We are speaking about latches as of now. So this is the logic diagram or truth table for the SR latch using NOR gate. Now we have to do it using NAND gate. Now for a NAND gate, this variable will be an S bar, this will be an R bar. So this, let me label it as S bar and let me label it as R bar. You'll come to know why this title is given as S bar and R bar. It is an S bar. Why is it given as R bar? We'll come to know. Now this one, let me label it as Q. I have not connected it since I want to explain how the working is there. Then later I will connect. Q bar. Now what is the first combination in the truth table? The first combination in the truth table will be 0, 0, 0. So here let me write the truth table. This is a detailed truth table. So first let me label it as S bar, R bar and input Q. Output is Q plus. I'm not considering Q bar as of now because Q bar will be equal to naught of Q. Okay, Q and Q plus mean the same thing I have told. The first combination, you can see it is a 3 inputs, S bar, R bar and only Q I considered. I have not considered Q bar. So what will be the first combination? The first combination will be 0, 0, 0, which means our S will be equal to 0, S is equal to 0, R is equal to 0. Q is also equal to 0. I have not made the connection over here, which means that currently our Q is equal to 0. If Q is equal to 0, what happens? Q is available at this terminal. Now this is a NAND gate truth table. So this is a NAND gate. So let us write the truth table for NAND gate. So what is the truth table for NAND gate? NAND gate will have 2 inputs, A and B. NAND gates will have 2 inputs, A and B, and output is Y. So I have written, now NAND gate, 0 and 0 is 0. So NAND of it will be 1. 0 and 1 is 0. So the NAND of it is 1. 1 and 0 is again a 0. So naught of that is 1. 1 and 1 is a 1. So this will be equal to 0. This is a NAND gate truth table which we have already discussed in the previous topics lectures. So now see what is the input now? R bar and S bar, if you can see, 0 and 0. Now since both are 0, what will be the output? The output will be 1. Right, so this goes to 1. This is a 1. Now what happens? This 1 is available over here. If this 1 is available over here, what is 0 and 1? 0 and 1 is 1. So the next state will be equal to 1. Now what happens? It is equal to 1. What is the next combination of the truth table? The next combination of the truth table will be 0, 0, 0, and this is what? 0, 0, 1. Now as of now, see, what did I tell in the previous explanation of latches using NOR gate? As of now, let us not consider this. SR is 0, 0. If you can see very clearly, SR is 0, 0. The next combination, Q will take the value 0 ones, R ones. Next, if you continue to write the truth table, what will be the next combination in the truth table? The next combination in the truth table will be 0, 1, 0. What is the next combination in the truth table? The next combination in the truth table will be 0, 1 and 0, 1 and 1. The next combination in the truth table will be 1, 0, 0. And the next one is 1, 0, 1. So let us take it as it will be 1, 0 and 1. The next combination is 1, 1 and 0. The last combination will be 1, 1 and 1 because it is a 3-input truth table as we have seen. Now, if you can see clearly, just as I showed in the diagram, this is 0, 0 combination with 0 and 1 Q value. This is 0, 1 combination with Q value 0 and 1. This is 1, 0 combination with Q value 0 and 1. This is 1, 1 combination with Q value of 0 and 1. Now, let me avoid the 0, 0 and 1, 1 as of now. I want to go to 0, 1 and 1, 0 combination. Now, when I go to 0, 1 and 1, 0 combination, what happens? Let us see. Okay. So, now I have currently S is 0. I want to give the combination as S is 0 and R is 1. So, it is S bar and R bar. S is 0, S bar is 0, R bar is 1. S bar is 0, R bar is 1, which means S will be equal to 1 and R will be equal to 0. Okay, S bar. Now, what I told, first combination Q is anyhow 0. Now, when I take Q is 0, what happens to the value over here? Q is 0. 0 will be available over here. 0 with 1 will be a 1. This 1 will be available over here. And 1 and again 0 or 1 is what? It is nothing but 1. So what happens to the truth table? When I give a combination of 0 and 1, my output is nothing but 1. When I give a combination of 0 and 1, my output is nothing but 1. So let me write it as 1. Next, when I give a combination of 0, 1 with Q equal to 1. First combination I took Q equal to 0. Now I want to take Q equal to 1. So I'm assuming my previous state is 1. So when I give a 1, what happens? Here I'll be having a 1. Here I'll be having a 1. What is 1 NAND with 1 according to the truth table? 1 NAND with 1. This is a NAND gate. So 1 NAND with 1 will be a 0. So I will get a 0 over here. What is the value I'll be getting over here? I'll get a 0 over here. 0 goes over here. So 0, you can see there is a path over here. 0 NAND with 0 is what? Still it is 1. Although the previous state is 1, the next state is also equal to 1. What does that mean? That means that when we give a combination of, see, it will be equal to 1. So when I give a combination of 0, 1, S bar is 0, R bar is 1. Whatever may be a previous state, 0, 1, it will be equal to 1, 1. Now again, when I go to the next set of combination, this will be definitely 0 and 0. Now what happens to when I give a combination of 1 and 1? When I give a combination of 1 and 1, the previous state will be retained. What does the previous state mean? This value, whatever I have over here, the previous value, this will be the previous value, this will be the next state value, but still it is available in Q. So we consider this as Q and this will be considering it as Q plus. So when I take a combination of 1 and 1 plus, the previous state will be retained. Now what is the previous state? 0 is the previous state, 1 is the previous state. So here what will be retained? 0 will be retained, 1 and 1 will be retained. So definitely this state should be an forbidden state over here. So this will be a forbidden state. Now let me make the connections and check how it is working, whether our truth table is correct. So let me connect it. Now what is the first combination? I give a state as 0 and 0. When I give 0 and 0, what happens? It goes to the forbidden state. See, you can see both are high. It should not be in this state. When I give a combination of 1 and 0, S bar is 1, R bar is 0. So when it is 1 and 0, what is happening to Q? Q is equal to 0. Q bar will be not of Q. So it will be 1. Now when I make this as 0 and 1. So when I make this as 0 and 1, what happens? When I give the combination as 1, 0, we can see that Q is equal to 0. For 1, 0, Q will be equal to 0. And the last state is when I give 1 and 1, it will retain the previous state. So when I gave 1 and 1, what was the previous state? This was 0 and this was 1. See, I gave 1 and 1, it is still holding the previous state. 0 will be retained as 0, 1 will be retained as 1 only. Now this is how we implement an SR latch using NAND gates. So finally, if you write the detailed, the short truth table, this was a detailed truth table what was given over here. If I reduce the truth table and write down, so what are the two inputs? I'll be having two inputs as S bar and R bar, and the output will be equal to Q. S bar and R bar output is equal to Q. Output is Q. Notice your input, S is 0, S bar is 0, R bar is 0. And the next state of the truth table will be 0 and 1. The next state of the truth table will be 1 and 0. The last state of the truth table will be 1 and 1. Now when you see S bar is 0, R bar is 0, what does that mean? It is equivalent to S is equal to 1, R is equal to 1. So when S is equal to 1, R is equal to 1, this goes into a forbidden state. This goes into a forbidden state. Let me write the comments over here. So what is the truth value comment over here? It is going into a forbidden state, or undefined also sometimes we tell. Now when S is 0, R is, see, S bar is 0, R bar is 0, R bar is 1, means S is 1, R is 0. So if you can see the values over here, when S bar is 0, R bar is 1, this is equal to 1. So this is nothing but set the flip-flop or set the latch. As of now we are doing latches. This will be equal to 0. This means reset. And the last one will be equal to Q itself. So this means a no change condition. This is in terms of S bar and R bar. Suppose I write this in terms of S, R and Q. S combination is 0, R combination is 0, S is 0, R is 1, S is 1, R is 0, and the last one is 1 and 1. Now if you can see, S bar is 0, R bar is 0 means S is 1, R is 1. So S is 1, R is 1 is nothing but the last state over here. So this will be our forbidden state. So this will be our forbidden state. And here S is 1, R is 0. So it is this one. S bar is 0, R is 1. So this output will be equal to 1. So this will be a set. And here it will be equal to 0. So this will be a reset. And here it is equal to, it will retain Q only, which is nothing but the no change condition. So what generally we do is we will follow the second truth table. We will follow the second one we are going to follow to represent flip-flops or latches, SR latches and SR flip-flops. Now this is a latch. Since this is an S bar signal, suppose I want to convert it into S. What happens? I'll be having a NOT gate over here. So I can give it to a NOT gate. And this is a NOT gate. Remove it. This is NOT gate. Output of the NOT gate is definitely S bar. And I can give the input over here. This input will act like S. So this is S. Next, here if I remove this R bar and give a NOT gate over here. and I can give the input over here. Now this will act like S and R. So this is nothing but our S, this one will be our S, and this one is our R. Because S bar, this value is still S bar, and this current with this value over here is still R bar. So this value is S bar and this value will be R bar. Now I want to write the logic. I have to write the coding for this NAND latch, SR NAND latch and SR NOR latch. So let us start writing the code for SR NOR latch first, okay, and then come to this one. Now there are different ways to write a Verilog code, different modeling styles. What are they? They are data flow, gate level, behavioral, mix type and switch level. 5 modeling styles are there. What happens in switch level? In switch level model, you'll use switches, that is the PMOS and NMOS switches or CMOS switches. There are some other switches also. We will use that for switch level model. As of now, we are not going to see switch level model. I will let us see go with your gate level model because we have the logic diagram. So let me write it. First is the gate level model. If you take gate level model, we have to write it using gates or instantiate using building blocks. We'll assume that it is building blocks. Second one is the data flow model. Data flow model, the best way to write a data flow model using assignment statement. So we'll be using Boolean expressions to write a data flow model. It is assignment, so we'll be using generally Boolean expression. That is why we have to simplify exactly using K-map and get the Boolean expressions. The third one is behavioral model. Now behavioral model deals with how your input flows throughout the, so how your value flows in the input wire or the signal. So for behavioral model, we will be using, we can use for a easiest way, we'll design it based on the logic what is required. So this will be using generally the states. Behavioral model will use states. For us, we will be using logic truth table for the behavioral model. The fourth one is mixed type, which will be a combination of all of these. Okay, the fifth one I told it is circuit level or switch level. So we'll take this as a switch level, which we are not going to see. Now what I'll do, we have this latch, NAND latch and NOR latch, SR latch. So that we'll try to write it in gate level, since we have the gates. In the previous thing what you see, you have a gate diagram. Then we'll try to write it in behavioral model. Later we'll see about data flow model. Now the first step what we are going to write it, I told we are going to write it in gate level model. So gate level model or structural modeling style. Gate level model or the structural modeling style. Now come to the diagram over here. What are the inputs? My input is S and R. I have one NOT gate over here, then I have two NAND gates and two outputs. So input is S and R, output is Q and Q bar. Now for analysis sake, did I take the output Q? Did I take the output Q bar? I did not take the output Q bar, I only took Q. Now based on our requirements, we can use both Q and Q bar or only Q. Now what I will do, I will only analyze Q. As of now, we'll keep this Q bar pending and S and R. And then I will write the logic. So module, the first thing is module, then you have to write the module name. So my module name is SRLatch. I can write any name. This is our choice. Now what is the output? Q and Q bar is the output. I will take only Q as of now. Q bar, let me keep it pending because I don't want that for analysis. The next one is S and R are the inputs. So this will be input S comma R. Then what is your output? Output is Q. Output Q. Now what happens? Q is also acting as the input. If you can see here in the diagram, Q is the output, at the same time Q is also acting as input. So the items or elements or ports which act as input and output can be declared as in out Q. Now there was two signals. Earlier we did not write it as S, we wrote it as S bar, because what goes over here is S bar. So there will be another signal over here at this particular point. Let me tap that point. This signal goes over here, and this is the signal what is going. So this signal is nothing but S bar, this signal is nothing but R bar. So two intermediate signals I am getting, S bar and R bar. So now come to the coding. So what are the two intermediate signals? I'll get wire, S bar and R bar, because I'm designing the flip-flop or designing the latch in terms of S and R. Suppose if I write this S bar and R bar, input as S bar and R bar, which is nothing but the first design what we wrote, first logic diagram. Now I have modified the logic diagram, so I will be using S and R over. Now what is the first thing? I have 4 gates. If you come to the diagram over here, I have 4 gates. This is gate 1, gate 2, gate 3 and gate 4. I'm having 4 gates. So what is the first gate? First gate is the NOT gate. NOT is a primitive which is already existing in Verilog. Basic gate primitives already exist. Some of the gates is not existing, but I have to use that building block. Cases where I want to use the building block, like in ripple carry adder, I want to use a full adder. In that case, I have to write the code for full adder. But NOT gate already exists, so I don't write the code for NOT gate. G1. What is the output of the NOT gate? First output is S bar. And what is the input according to the diagram? Input is nothing but S. Done. Second is also a NOT gate. What is the input? Input is R bar. And what is the other input? Is R. Done. Now, two more gates are there. What are they? NAND gates. So, NAND, G3. What is the input of the NAND gate? Input of the NAND gate. Now, always we have to write the output first and input when you're instantiating inbuilt primitives. For that reason only, I have told you always write the output first and then the input. Follow this notation. Now, we have the NAND gate. One input is S bar. The other input is Q bar. So one input is S bar, the other input is Q bar. Output is Q, one input is S bar, the other input is Q bar. Now since I am taking Q bar, I have not defined. Is it defined? So since it's not defined, let me define Q bar. So in out Q comma Q bar, because I need this now. Without that I cannot do it. Now what is the next NAND gate? One more NAND gate is there. What is the gate number? Fourth gate, G4. And what is the output of that NAND gate? Output of that NAND gate is Q bar. What is the input to that NAND gate? R bar. And what is the other input? Other input is Q. Any other gates we have to instantiate? That's all. So end module. Now we have to write the test bench. This is the main module. Now when you write the test bench, first test bench starts with test bench is written to verify your design. So the first step in the test bench is to write module test bench name. So SR test I have written. It can be anything. All inputs whatever is over here should be declared as registers over here. Register S comma R. So there is in out I have declared. So that is nothing but it is equivalent to output wire. Let us see whether we'll get the output or not. Q and Q bar. Next, what do I have? I have to instantiate this module. This test bench is applied to test this module. That means I should make sure that something like this code comes over here and whatever I write over here is implemented to this code. So I have to instantiate this building block over there, the main design. So I will write, I'm instantiating the main module building block. The module name is SR latch and I will give it as G1. What same order I have to follow the inputs Q, Q bar, S and R. Done. Now what I have to write? I have to write the test cases initial. initial, begin. So what is the first case? Let me take it as hash 0. I can write the test case as s is equal to 0, r is equal to 0, and I have to see only inputs I should write. For this test bench, I have to see whether my output is, I am getting the output correctly. So only inputs I will write in the test bench, because this is the input I have given to the test, to the design, to check if it is generating the correct output. So say 4, I will write. This is one format. The other format is writing using concatenation. So S comma R I can write concatenate. That means 2 bits are joined. So if 2 bits are joined, what happens? This will be equal to tick B, next combination I've given. So I can follow these two styles. So let me repeat it. So I will make this as 3. So 0, 1 I have written. So the next combination what I want to check is for 1, 0. The last combination what I want to check is for 1, 1. So let me repeat it once again. Okay, see in SR flip-flop, we need not, when we're testing flip-flops, we need not start with the condition S is equal to 0, R is equal to 0, because that gives rise to undefined signals. S is equal to 0, R is equal to 0. What is the output according to the truth table? S is 0, R is 0. It will have the previous value. Do you have any previous value over here? We don't have any previous value. Our design will only generate the values, then only we can have previous value. So we'll avoid this state and let us make this starts from 0. So this is initial and let me give end over here. Now I have to see the output. Initial $monitor. So $monitor, I have to print it. This is similar to printf statement. $monitor, let me print the time, comma, then what I'm going to print? I'm going to print S is equal to %B. S is equal to %B because it's in binary. R is equal to %B. If you give it in decimal, you'll be getting it in decimal. R is equal to %B. Then I have to see Q is also equal to, Q is equal to %B. Then I have to see Q bar. Q bar is equal to %B. What is the order? The first variable was S. The second variable was R. The next variable was Q. And the next variable was Q bar. Done. Initial, we have to stop this at a certain time unit. So dollar, after some time unit, say $30 time unit, after 30 time units, dollar stop. End model. Now this program will test your design. Now we've got the output. So let us see, verify according to the truth table. When S is 0, R is 0, what should be the output? S is 0, R is 1. R is 1 means reset. So Q is 0. Q bar should be 1. Everywhere you can see Q bar is equal to not of Q by default. Now when S is 1, R is 0. So Q should be equal to 1 according to the truth table. 0 plus 3 is 3. So it is 3 time units. Now 0 plus 3 plus 4 is how much? 7. So we have 7 over here. Because 0 plus 3 plus 4 is 7. At the 7th time unit, what is your value? So after 7 time units, before 7 time units, I have 1, 0. Then after that, I'm having 1 and 1. Now, if you see this test cases, you can see that there is a small error in the results. It's not matching. The reason is my test syntax is not continuous. I've given a 0, which means it's again going back to the initial state. So what I'll do, I should give some value over here. And then let us analyze it one again. So now our test is ready. Now it is fine. So the first case is 0, 1. It is correct. The next case is 0 plus 3 is 1, 0. 0 plus 3 plus 4 is 7, 1, 1. Perfect. Then it is 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. So everything is perfect. Only I have up to 20 over here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So this combination is only up to 20. So at 20 it is stopped. From 20 to 30 it will have the last value. Now whether the output is correct. When S is 0, R is 1, what should be the output? Q should be equal to 0. Perfect. When S is 1, R is 0, what should be the output? Q is equal to 1. When S is 1, R is equal to 1, what happens? This goes to a forbidden state because Q will be equal to 1. Q bar is also equal to 1. That is what we saw in the figure during our analysis state. Now when S is 0, R is 0, what happens? It will follow the previous state. So it goes to 0 and 1. Q will be equal to 0, Q bar equals to 1. Now when S is 0, R is equal to 1, what happens? Q is equal to 0, R is equal to 1. So all this is correct. Now see, here you can see S is 1, R is 1, Q is equal to, this actually S is 0, R is 0. These two, if you can see, these two states, S is 0, R is 0, it should follow the previous state. But what we are doing, we are designed it using gates. So S is 0, R is 0, it will calculate the value. Hence Q becomes 0, Q bar will be retained at 1. Suppose if I remove this 0, 0 combination from here and give it in some other location and I run it, then it will follow the previous state. You can run and see it. It will be following the previous state. So I've given 0, 0 over here. Here if you can see the previous state at 14 it is Q is 1, Q bar is 0. So here it will be equal to Q. Now you can see here at 4, 5, 11 nanoseconds or the 11 time units, you can see S is equal to 2 tick B01. Then so at 11 time units S is equal to 0, R is equal to 1. Now when S is equal to 0, R is equal to 1, Q should be equal to 0. The next at 14 time units, you can see S is 1 and R is 0. Since S is 1, Q will be equal to 1. Now here you can see at the 16th time unit, S is 0, R is 0. When S is 0, R is 0, it will follow the previous state. So what is the previous state? Q was equal to 1. So Q is equal to 1, Q bar is equal to 0. The same thing is followed. Now all this is with respect to a gate level model, since we have the gate level model. Now let us see the data flow model. Before going to data flow, we'll go for the behavioral model. Now behavioral model, now whatever modeling style you write, the input and outputs will be the same. Now behavioral model, we'll write for truth table. So what is it? Always at what are your inputs I have? I have my inputs S and R. So I should write the inputs in the sensitivity list. Once you have an always, begin and end is compulsory. In behavioral model, begin and end is compulsory. So begin, then if, let us write it using if. If, what is the first condition in truth table of SR large? If S is equal to 0, S equal to 0 and R equal to 0. What happens to Q? Begin, begin. So what is the first statement? Q is equal to, see, if S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 0, it will follow the previous state. Q is equal to Q only, Q bar will be equal to Q bar. Next. Now when we are doing such things, all outputs should be declared as registers, because we are discussing behavioral model. So registers, all outputs should be declared as register in behavioral model, and this can be an out. We can keep it as output only. Let us see if this will work out instead of keeping it as in out. Next it is else if. The second combination of the truth table is 0, 1. So else if, what is the second combination? S is equal to 0 and R equal to 1. Begin. Now what is your Q equal to? Q is equal to, what is the value? Q is equal to, when S is 0, Q will be equal to 0. What is R equal? Q bar equal to? Q bar will be equal to 1. Again I can give else if. What is the next combination in the truth table? S equal to 1 and R equal to 0. If S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 0, Q will be equal to 1 and Q bar will be equal to, see, for every begin you should have an end. So I have an end over here. Again there's a begin, so this will be an end. So if S is equal to 1, 0, what is Q equal to according to the truth table? So I should have a begin. Q is equal to 1. Q bar is equal to 0. We can write the last one as else. Q is equal to, don't care condition, 1 tick Bx. Q bar is also equal to 1 tick Bx. So I need an end over here. Again this will be a begin. And this is an end. Then I should have one end to end this begin of the always. Then it's nothing but the end module. This type of modeling style is behavioral modeling style, written using if statement. Now the same test bench will work. What is the thing? This is written for SR program only. See, even the module name is the same thing. So same test bench, similar. I've written it for the previous examples. I've retained it. Same thing will work. Let us see whether we'll get the output. Now we can see over here. If you can analyze the results, it's over here. When S is 0, R is 1 for the first combination, Q is 0. Again, when S is 1, R is 0, Q is 1. S is 1, R is 1, Q is X and X, because I've given X and X over here. That is the reason it is having X and X. So this is working. This is using if statement. Now the same thing is behavioral level using behavioral model style using case statement. Now if I write using case statement, again all this was using if, so I'll remove if and write using case statement. Module is same, input SR you have to write, output you have to write. In behavioral modeling style, all output should be declared as registers. So let me write it using case statement. Case of, what are the inputs? S and R. Now whenever you're giving entities in case, you have to give it as concatenation of vectors. So I will give it as S comma R. I cannot give it as individual bits. I should give a concatenation of bits, or else I should declare SR as vector. So case S and R. Now what is the first combination in your thing? Case 2 tick B00 is the truth table. Next combination will be 2 tick B01. Next combination is 2 tick B10. And the next combination is 2 tick B11. The last combination is what? Default. In case. Then I have to have an end case. What does this mean? If S and R, this means if S and R is 0, 0. If S and R is equal to 0, 1. if S and R is equal to 1, 0, it means that thing. Okay. Now, if case is equal to 0, 0, what do I get? Begin. So, I will write begin. What is our begin? Q is equal to Q. Q bar is equal to Q bar, right? According to the truth table. Next, again I have to give an end. Now, why am I giving begin and end? Because this is one assignment, this is one assignment. So we have multiple statements. Whenever you have multiple statements, it is good practice to give a begin and end. So the next one is begin. Q is equal to 0. Q bar is equal to 1 and I have an end. Or else I can concatenate and write. If I concatenate, it will be Q comma Q bar is equal to, what is the output you have to get when it is 1, 0? When it is 1, 0, Q comma Q bar, you can also write it in this format. What is the output? Q comma Q bar. 2 tick B. What is the value of Q when it is 1, 0? When your input combination is 1, 0, Q will be equal to 1. Q bar will be equal to 0. Again, the same thing I can follow for the next one. In any of these designs, you can write. So here it will be Q comma Q bar is equal to, what is the last combination? It will be XX. Default, what is the default value we want? We can keep any default value. I'll keep the default value as 0. So now let us run it and check whether we are getting the results. Now for this program, this is again the test bench. We have to write the test bench again. So I've written the program. I already have the test bench. So I'm retaining the test bench and I'm running it, checking whether it is working. And I can see there is a spelling mistake in default. Now I have the results over here. If we can verify the results again, we can see that it is the same result, similar result what we have got. So I'll just show this for 7. When S is 1, R is 1, what we should get? We should get XX. That is what we have written in the code. So we are getting the same thing. But where we are applying S and R values, we are applying in the test bench and we are getting the output. This is with respect to behavioral level. Now suppose if you want to write a mixed level code. Now mixed modeling style, you can use any two models. So mixed model. Now what I'll do, I'll keep only the case, okay, here I'll only keep Q. What is Q bar? I already know Q bar is equal to what? Not of Q. So here I'll just change it and I'll show how that can be written. I want this logic should work only for Q, and Q bar I should write Q bar is equal to not of Q. So I can modify and use it according to my choice. Okay. So here I've given only when S and R is 0, 0, Q is Q. When S and R is 0, 1, Q is 0. When S and R is 1, 0, Q is equal to 1. I don't require a begin and end because I have only one statement. Now when S and R is 1, 1, Q is equal to X. One tick BX. Then what about our Q bar? So I should write Q bar. So it is an assignment I will write. Here only I will write so that it is understandable. Assign. I'm writing it on the top or before always. Assign Q bar is equal to not of Q. Now what happened? If you can see, this is a data flow statement and this is a behavioral level statements. So we can write both when mixed level model where both data flow and behavioral is combined. Or else even we can use gate level model also, but we have to use it wisely. To get Q, what is the logic involved? To get Q bar, what is the logic involved? What are the entities I have to give to get Q bar? What are the inputs I have to get inputs I have to give to get Q? Now if you see, when S is equal to 1, R is equal to 1, what I'm getting according to the logic, When S is equal to 1, R is equal to 1, Q is equal to X, and Q bar is equal to naught of X. So it will still be X only. So I've got X. Again, if you take some other combination, say I've taken this combination. When S is equal to 1, R is equal to 1, Q will be equal to 1. So when S, this part, S and R, S is equal to 1. So this first bit represents S, second bit represents R. When S is equal to 1, R is equal to 0, Q is equal to 0. Again, Q bar will be equal to naught of Q. This is how we can adopt. I have adopted data flow modeling style and behavioral modeling style to write a mixed model. We can also adopt gates. What are the gates required for generating Q? So what are the gates required for generating Q? I require all these 4 gates to generate Q. So I can adopt that and I can write the code. Now we have to write the expression. What is the characteristic equation? So let me write a characteristic equation for this, or the expression for this. What is the characteristic equation? We don't call this as Boolean expression. We'll follow the terminology as characteristic expression, equation. So what is the characteristic equation for an SR latch? Now we have the Boolean logic table for SR latch. So this is the logic table which we already know. The inputs are S, R and Q. We have to find the expression for Q plus. So what we are going to do, we are going to write the K map for a 3 variable truth table. S, R, Q is the input, Q plus is the output. Again, I'm repeating, Q bar is equal to naught of Q. So I'm just ignoring that over here. I'm writing for Q plus characteristic equation. So first let us write the K map. Now I have a 3 variable K map over here for S, R and Q. Let me write the values. What are the values I get for S, R and Q? I'll only write the values related to 1. We can ignore the zeros because I'm solving it in min term notation. Okay. So when S is 0, 0, 0, I'll have a 0. I don't want that. Now when S is 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, it is a 1. Next it is 0, 1, 0 is 0, so I can ignore. 0, 1, 1 is 0, I'll leave it. Then it is 1, 0, 0. 1, 0, 0 is a 1. 1, 0, 1, 0, 1 is a 1. 1, 1, 0 is a X. And this is also X. Now you have to solve the K map. So now this is the K map we have got. How do I solve this K map now? I can group this 4 ones. I can see in the K map that I don't have octets. 8 ones is not there. I have only 4 ones. So I've grouped this. That is the first quad I have. And I can group this pair. Done. I've grouped it. Now what will be my expression? Q plus, right? Expression is, characteristic equation is in terms of Q plus. Both mean Q and Q plus are the same state, the same location, but it means the next state. The next state you can see depends on the previous state. So I'm considering Q plus. Now, if I consider this quad over here, what is the value? Everything gets cancelled over here. Only one is retained. So S plus. Now this pair over here, 0 and 1 is getting cancelled. RQ 0, 1 represents. R is nothing but R bar and it is Q. So what is the characteristic equation? Q plus is equal to S plus RQ, which is a characteristic equation. Now, what happens in this latch is, you can see that the circuit is responding. This circuit is responding only when the input is changing. But now these such inputs, what we can say, The output of these latches can be, we can tell them that they're asynchronous. Now, if you have to make this circuit synchronous, or design it in such a way that the output should change only at particular interval. If you want to make the circuit in such a way that, if you have to build the circuit to make sure that the circuit responds only at, or only during certain prescribed times, that is known as a synchronous circuit. The circuit will respond only to a certain time or to a certain input, and the circuit will not always respond to continuous changes of this input. In that case, what happens, we will induce an additional input. That input can be an enable or a gate or a clock. Now, a gated SR latch, or before that, inputs which cause a response only with an enable. These circuits, if they respond with an enable or a clock or gate, then that circuit acts like a synchronous circuit. So now what we are going to see, we are going to see something known as gated SR latch. Now, if without a gate, it is sometimes an asynchronous circuit. Now, gated SR latch, if the output of this circuit, or if the output of this circuit changes immediately with response to the input, then we call the output of these latches to be asynchronous. So now, to make it synchronous, I'll be dealing with a gated SR latch. Now, what is a gated SR latch? It will have an additional gate. So let us build this. Again, the truth table will be the same truth table, but with an additional input. No, I'll not. Now, what happens in a gated SR latch? Now this is the SR latch using NAND gate which we have seen. Let us synthesize and check if the circuit is, if we are obtaining the correct circuitry. So see, you can see that we have an SR latch over here. Since I've given the module name as SFFF, I've got this, but this is an actually SR latch. And if you can minimize the design, we can see that it is a NAND gate, and this is what? This is nothing but a bistable element which we have. Two NOT gates, we have the bistable element, and we are implementing that to obtain the SR latch. Now let us see the results, timing diagram results. Now this is the timing diagram what we have got for SR latch. Now what happens in latch? Latch is level triggered, flip-flop will be edge triggered. So we'll see how this latch is working. Now if you see the test bench what we have written, at 0 we have taken S is equal to 0, R is equal to 0. So if you now in this SR latch, if you can see, the first case is S is equal to 0, R is equal to 0. What is the truth table for SR latch? When S is equal to 0, R is equal to 0, what should be our value? Q should be the previous value. Now I've kept my timeline over here. What is the S value? You can see S is 0, R is 0. When S is 0, R is 0, Q should be the previous value. Do you know what is the previous value? We don't know what is the previous value. That's why we are getting an undefined state over here for Q and Q bar. But still, if you can see, one is the complement of other. This is like this, and the other waveform is in the falling cycle, in the 0. So this is how it works. Next, what is the next part in the test bench? We have after 4 time units, S is equal to 0, R is equal to 1. Now, according to our truth table, what happens when S is equal to 0, R is equal to 1? When S is 0, R is 1, output should be equal to 0. Output means Q. So here I'll move the timing diagram. That is after, see if you can see exactly after 4 nanoseconds it is starting, from 4 to 7, because 4 to 3 is mentioned in the test bench. So from 4 to 7, this is the state. So what happens? S is 0, R is 1. If S is 0, R is 1, what happens to our Q? Q will be equal to 0, Q bar is equal to 1. The next condition is S is 1, R is 0. So Q is equal to 1. The next one is S is 1, R is 1. When S is 1, R is 1, Q and Q bar is equal to 1. So this is a forbidden state. Since both is equal to 1, it is not varying as per the rules. Q bar should be equal to naught of Q. So this state is the forbidden state. Now go to the next one. Now what is happening over here? If you can see over here in this state where I've kept the timeline, S value is 0, R value is 0. If S is 0, R is 1, what should happen to your Q? Q should be equal to 0. Fine. Let me go to the last state. Okay, here. S is 1, R is 0. We have Q is equal to 1 and 0. The last one is S is 1, R is equal to 1. So this is okay with the timing diagram for latches. Now let us see the time difference in the timing diagram of flip-flop.